Hi, kiddos from South Milwaukee. Today we're going to talk about math, and our goal is that so you're saying is, I can use an array to multiply by 8. So we're going to work on multiplying by 8 today. Supplies again that we need would be tiles, math notebook, grid paper, a pencil. Again, our problem is going to be larger than 50 tiles. So if you need to grab something from the kitchen, please ask parents' permission. To build that, I want you to go ahead and pause the video and do that right now. Okay, so our goal is I can use an array to multiply by 8. Let's think of all the combinations that make 8. So we're adding combinations. So go ahead and write those down. We know 0 plus 8 equals 8. 1 plus 7. 2 plus, think about it, 6. 3 plus 5. 4 plus 4. If we continued on, this would be 5 plus 3, 6 plus 2, 7 plus 1, 8 plus 0. Which of these combinations are most friendly to you that you would want to multiply by? As I'm looking at it, if I know how to multiply by 1, 2, 5, and 10, and I can do those pretty easily, and I want to break those numbers apart, I'm not seeing that very clearly. So we might have to break this a little bit further apart if we need to. So I like multiplying by 5. Multiplying by 3 is multiplying by 2, but adding one more group. So I think I'm going to try this one. Okay? You decide what you think is best for you. All right. So I've drawn my 8 by 8 array on grid paper. Please pause and draw your array on grid paper, or you can draw an open array, an unmarked array in your math notebook. Okay, so we thought of 8 times 8, and we thought, I want to use 5 plus 3. We can either break the rows apart, or we can break the columns apart. I'm just going to take the row here, 8, and I'm going to break it into 5 and 3. So let me count my rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to break that apart. Okay. So what are the dimensions of this array here? How many rows of columns do you have in this top array? If you said you have 5 rows of 8, you would be correct. What is 5 rows of 8? Write that down. Okay, so 3 times 8. If you don't know 3 times 8, you may have to break this apart even further. And that's okay. That's okay for now. We're working on strategies to solve our problems. So I don't know 3 times 8, so I'm going to take this and make it a 2 and a 1 because I am much more comfortable doing that. So notice I have 1, 2, 3 smaller arrays in my larger array. All right, so what are the dimensions of this array here? How many rows of columns do we have? How many rows of how many columns do we have? Well, we broke the 3 apart into 2, so we have 2 rows here. of 8. 2 times 8 is just doubling the 8. So go ahead and double that and put your answer there. Then we do have this tiny array over here. Let's look at its dimensions. How many rows, how many columns do we have? We have 1 row of 8. Okay. So what is 5 times 8? Think about it. What is it, everybody? It's 40. What is 2 times 8? Tell us. It is 16. And what is 1 times 8? Well, that's 8. Okay. So our equation writing is going to be a little bit different because we needed to break this down into 3 different parts instead of 2 different parts. If you are comfortable with 8 being 4 plus 4, could you have multiplied by 4 and by 4? Sure. You could have used any of those combinations that we talked about for 8. But I'm just showing the 3 plus 5 combination because in case you're stuck on the 3, I want you to be able to use a 2 and a 1. All right. So our large array is 8 times 8. And we broke it down into 3 smaller arrays. We had 5 rows of 8. We had 2 rows of 8. And we had 1 row of 8. Wow. So I'm going to change markers here. Where's this 8? Where is it? Where do you see it on this side? I see this 8. 8, 8, 8. I see it right there. Where is this one? It's the 5 plus 2 more is 7 plus 1 more is 8. Okay. So let's go ahead and finish solving our equation. What is 5 times 8? We said that was 40. Plus 2 times 8 is 16. Plus 1 times 8 is 8. When we get to here, you can add any numbers that you want together however you like. You can add your 40 and your 8 first. You could add these 2 first. You can add the 16 and the 8 first. What I'm going to do is add 16 plus 8. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm thinking when I add 16 plus 8. And if you're not thinking this way, no problem. I know 16 plus 8 equals something. I'm going to balance those sides out. So I'm going to take 2 away from the 16, which leaves me 14. And I'm going to add 2 onto the 8, which makes 10. Wow, 16 plus 8 is the same value as 14 plus 10. I just took 2 from this one and moved it over here, so they're the same value. 24 plus 10 is a lot easier for me, and I know that's 24. Did anybody decompose this 8 into 4 and 4? If you did, you might have said 16 plus 4 is 20, plus 4 more is 24. Okay. So I've got my 24 here, and now I need to add on the 40. So 40 plus the 20, think about it. 40 plus 20 is 60, plus 4 more is 64. So we've solved 8 times 8 equals 64. We didn't have a story or a context to go with us with 8, so you don't need to write a complete sentence answer. But I want you to think of these addition combinations when multiplying by 8, because it isn't quite as easy as multiplying by 1, 2, 5, 10 in our 6 and 7s, which we've worked on too. So also multiplying by 3 and 4. So what's going to be easiest for you? All right, think about that, and we'll work on multiplying by 8.